our heart is involved in into world missions, into sending world missionaries. And so if we are going to be zealous sinners, and if we're going to be zealous goers, then we need to be zealous in prayer. That means we need to be these people who are placing prayer for those going or for God's call on our hearts to go. We need to be placing prayer at the forefront of that. That is one of the greatest ways that we can support that. If you go back and on the bulletin board back there, I'm sure there's the latest letter from Derek and Katie Allen, and one of the things, or there's a letter from Campus Christian Fellowship or the Well or Freedom for Youth, and there'll be a list of needs, but it'll always say, no matter what, we covet your prayers. We need your prayers. And so this morning, that's kind of where I want to go. And the way that I want to go into that we ought, that we ought to be and how we ought to be praying for the people that are going to the nations, that are going to the ends of the earth. Remember, Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, the ends of the earth, going to make going to find or make believers of all tribes and tongues and nations. The reason or the jumping off point that I want to get to praying that is to recognize that God's goal from the very beginning, if we go to Genesis, which we will in a second, to Revelation, which we will also in a second, we'll see God's goal from the very beginning is that his truth would be known in all nations, in all tongues, among all people. And it is evident from the beginning when God created man to the end that every tribe and tongue and nation and people group and language would be worshiping him, would be going to him and receiving salvation in him and finding their joy in him alone. So let's just do that. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 28. God creates man and woman, and this is how he creates them. Verse 26. Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heaven, and over every livestock, and over every earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, or over all the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over every living thing that moves on earth. So this is creation. God created man and woman, and he created them in his image, and he said, multiply and fill the earth. This is my mission for you, is to fill the earth. And then, of course, we continue on.